What's going on, guys? This is another episode here in Nolan's pod. Um, Today we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs again. In sports, you win and you lose, and that's okay. That's okay. You win and you lose, but it's how you lose, and it's how the Clippers lost last night to the Dallas Mavericks, even though the Clippers had home court advantage. Clippers lost by 32, 34 points. That's very, very unacceptable. The Clippers looked very lackadaisical and they was very nonchalant. They did not look as if they were a team that was locked in to a playoff game. It was very atrocious what they did last night and what kind of performance they put on in front of their fans. The up and downs in the careers of Paul George and James Harden, their up and down careers in the playoffs. I'm not talking about regular season. I'm talking about playoffs. Up and down in playoff series for James Harden and Paul George. It's unbelievable. Very, very unbelievable. Paul George, you called yourself Playoff P. Nobody gave you that name. You gave your own self that name. And since you have left the Indiana Pacers, you have not lived up to that name since then. OKC, you did not live up to that name. And with the Clippers, you have not lived up to Playoff P. James Harden, last year you quit on the Philadelphia 76ers. But you had good games beginning the series, like game 1, game 2. After that, James Harden always has a great beginning of the playoff series. Game 1, game 2s. From game 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, as the series always gets further in his career, he just tails completely off. For some reason, we don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. And he had a good game 4 with 33 points. Coming back game 5, he only has 7 points on 2 for 12 shooting. Paul George, same thing. Game 4, last game, 33 points. This game, he has 15 points on 4 for 13 shooting, 2 from 6 from long range, 11 rebounds. I know you guys don't have Kawhi Leonard, but Paul George, James Harden, you guys are two superstars who should be leading your team to victory, who should be leading your team to success. That did not happen last night. And not only that, y'all partner in crime, Russell Westbrook, was only 2 for 11 with 6 points, 0 for 3 for three-point range. Let me explain something about the Dallas Mavericks. P.J. Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., Daniel Gafford, they all bring the energy, they all bring the fight, they all bring the hustle, they all bring the grit, they all bring the grind, and they just get after it. Those 3 guys that I just named to you, Gafford, Derrick Jones Jr., P.J. Washington, they all bring it, and they all are going to leave it out there. And if they lose, so be it. They lost. But they all going to leave it out there on the line. Derrick Jones Jr. is going to give that. He's going to give that to you defensively, and he's also going to try to go on the other end and dunk on you about 2 or 3 times a game. Daniel Gafford is going to rebound. He's going to get you points in the paint. He's going to make an impact in blocking shots, and if he doesn't block the shot, he's going to change your shot. And he's going to have a lot of energy to get up and down the floor all game long. No question about it. P.J. Washington only had 2 points last night. You might think, oh, he had 2 points. He didn't do anything. P.J. Washington did a lot last night with his effort, with him scrapping, with him fighting, and just him getting after it. You can tell that these guys wanted this game. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, they're not great defenders individually. They are not. But you could be a good team defender. And that's what you have seen them do in this series. When you have one goal in mind, and that's to win a championship, you're going to do whatever it takes for that goal to happen. And Kyrie Irving knows what that's like because he won a championship in Cleveland. So he knows what it takes, and he knows how to get it done. Last night, I seen Kyrie dive on the floor for a loose ball. And even though they called a foul, it shouldn't have been a foul. But even though they called a foul, Kyrie Irving dived on the floor for a loose ball. When do you ever see Kyrie Irving doing that again and after it? He's scrapping, fighting, hustling, trying to get a loose ball, trying to make something happen. Are you serious? Luka Doncic has held his own against James Harden when he's been on James Harden in this series. Luka's not a great defender, as I just mentioned. He's done a pretty good, solid job with James Harden. No, you're not going to stop James Harden, but you can contain him, and that's what Luka has done. He's contained him, and he's played great team defense. Even Luka's playing defense. When the role players see the stars like Luka and Kyrie playing defense, all the rest of the role players, they're going to buy in and play defense too. When you see your leaders playing defense or doing something good, you're going to want to do it too. And that's the example that Kyrie and Luka are setting for these guys on this Dallas Mavericks ball club. And you can see that they're connected. Every time they scored a basket last night, or even in this series, they're up off the bench. They're cheering for each other. They're yelling, "Yeah, let's go," and all that good stuff. They are genuinely happy for one another in what they are doing. With the Los Angeles Clippers, you didn't see that energy last night. Russell Westbrook was not on last night, so you didn't see that energy that he had off the bench. You didn't see any of that because they didn't have any energy. The crowd was never able to get into the game because the Clippers fell behind early on. So the crowd wasn't able to give them that boost of energy that they needed. And even you could see it on the Clippers' faces and their body language. It's just like they were discombobulated. It's just like it wasn't a playoff game. It was just like it was some regular season game, how the Clippers approached that game last night. And for 10 or 12 years, we've always said the Clippers are going to win the shot. Well, I haven't said that. I take that back. I have not said that. But a lot of people in this world last 10 or 12 years have said the Clippers are going to win the championship. The Clippers have the roster to do it every year for 10 to 12 years. Yes, they've had the roster to do it. Have they done it? No, because they're so inconsistent in their play. No matter who's on the roster, they're inconsistent. One game they're on, the next game they're completely off. And coming into the series, we had already said we don't know which Clippers team we're going to get. The really good Clippers team or the team that's inconsistent from game to game. We don't know what we're going to get. And so far in this series, with it being 3-2, Dallas lead 3-2 in the series, we've gotten the Clippers team we expected, and we've also gotten the Clippers team that's inconsistent. So we've gotten both of those Clippers teams in this series, and we got that last night with them being way inconsistent. Paul George, James Harden, you guys know you have to be better. I don't know. It starts with you too. Y'all need to show up. Y'all got you know what's handed to y'all last night in y'all own building. Is y'all going to go to Dallas and get y'all butt whooped again? Or is y'all going to actually show up and do something about it? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to know and see. Is y'all going to do something about it? Or is y'all going to get y'all butt whoops again? Because, as far as I'm concerned, Kyrie and Luka bust y'all you know what last night. They bust y'all you know what last night. And y'all didn't do anything about it. What y'all going to do in game 6? Y'all down 3-2. Y'all got to win 2 games. That's it. 2 games to move on. What y'all going to do about it? Y'all going to show up with what's up? Luka had 35 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. Luka said that he felt like he let Kyrie down these last couple of games. Luka has not let anybody down, but he went out in game 5 last night and he backed up what he said. He didn't let Kyrie down last night in his opinion. But nobody thinks that Luka has let Kyrie down. Only Luka thinks that because he's hard on himself. But everybody else is like, huh? Luka? Huh? But Luka did his thing last night. 14 for 26 shooting, 2 from 8 from long range. Maxi Kleber came off the bench and hit 5 threes for 15 points. Derek Lively came off the bench with his hustle, his grit, his youthful exuberance. Derek Lively had 12 points, 7 rebounds. Jaden Hardy came in garbage time and had 14 points on 5 for 8 shooting, 2 for 4 from 3-point range. Derrick Jones Jr., 12 points, 5 from 7 from the field. Daniel Gafford, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Kyrie, he got the party started. Even though he only had 14 points, he got it started early in the first quarter, and then Luka took it and ran with it. But Kyrie had 14 points on 6 for 14 shooting. For the Clippers' sake, Terrence Mann had 11 points, 5 for 10 from the field. Norman Powell, they need you big time. You would have 14 points in this game, 5 from 12 from the field, 1 for 6 from long range. Norman Powell, they need you next game. You are the reigning sixth man of the year. You need to get going. You had a good game 4. You didn't game 5. They need you off the bench, especially if Kawhi Leonard does not play game 6. You are important, Norman Powell. They're going to need you, especially if Russell Westbrook's not on like he wasn't on in this game. You're definitely going to be needing Norman Powell. And it should not take for a 39-year-old PJ Tucker to come off the bench and have more energy than Paul George, have more energy than James Harden, have more energy than Russell Westbrook, have more energy than the whole team combined. PJ Tucker, at 39 years old, he should not have had to come in that game and provided y'all with a little spark of energy. Y'all should already have that energy anyway. Russell Westbrook is usually the guy that provides that for y'all. But he was struggling and he was down in the dumps with his body language that he was never gonna give y'all any energy in that spark that y'all need. That let's go. You guys need to pick it up. They didn't have any of that last night. But at home, you can't lose by 32 and 34 points, Clippers. That's why we're concerned with y'all right now, because we don't know if we're going to get the Clippers team that won in Dallas game 6, or the Clippers team that won in Dallas in game 4, or are we going to get the Clippers team that just lost by 34 points in game 5? We don't know which team we're going to get. That's why we're so concerned. Obviously, some adjustments need to be made as all adjustments are made from game to game in the playoffs. That's what the playoffs are all about, making adjustments from game to game. And the Clippers, y'all got a lot that y'all need to make, seriously. This was possibly the Clippers' last game at Crypto.com Arena, because next year they go to their new arena. So this was possibly the last game, and if it's not, if they can force a game 7, then they will have another game at Crypto.com Arena. But you would think that this being possibly your last game in your home arena, that you would want to put on your show for your home fans in your last game in your arena. You would think they would put on the show, but they did the complete opposite of that. Man, Clippers, good Lord. But that's all I have to say for that. Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks have a game 6 tonight. Game 3 and game 4 was at Wells Fargo Center. The problem that a lot of people had with that is it was no Philadelphia fans at their home game. It was a lot of New York Knicks fans. And I get the New York Knicks fans travel all over the world and the Knicks have fans everywhere. But you cannot have a game 3 and 4 at home in Philadelphia and have it feel like a New York Knicks home game at Madison Square Garden. No. That is unacceptable. I don't know why the Philadelphia faithful didn't come out and support their team like they should. Your team is in the playoffs. Come out and support your team. You're the 6th man. You are the 6th man. Come out and support your team and give them that booster energy. The team needs you to be at the arena, be on your feet, be loud, be rowdy, cheer for them. They need that energy. They need that boost. So y'all need to be at game 6 and should not be every time where the Knicks score and you hear all these New York fans cheering for the Knicks and it's a Knicks road game. That is unacceptable. I cannot believe this Philadelphia crowd let the New York Knicks crowd pump them in their own arena. That should never happen. That's an embarrassment. Come out and support your team tonight. The team needs you. It's game 6. If you can come out and support your team tonight, I think that you guys can force a game 7, which is the best 2 words in sports. Game 7 is possibly on the line, but it is not going to happen if the Philadelphia fans don't come out and support their team like they should be doing anyway. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. I don't even know why we're having this conversation. Just show up. Much like Paul George and James Harden needed to do game 5, they didn't show up. So it's like for the crowd, actually show up to the game. Actually show up to the game and cheer on your team like you're supposed to do anyway. but you call yourselves diehard fans. But I don't really see the diehard in it if you ain't showing up to the game. But anyway, that's my opinion on it. That's all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Clippers' embarrassing loss, and let me know, do you think that they can win 2 more games in the series to move on to the second round? But that's it.